Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have now got my own camera and it came with a tripod, so I haven't got to stack my camera up on some boxes, so hopefully it's going to be a better angle and slightly better quality. I can also now see myself in the camera as the screen rotates, so hopefully any future hauls, everything will be in shot, because I know on my last haul half of my head was cut off, and when I was showing you some plushes they weren't in shot, so apologies for that. Today I'm actually doing a request video. I've had quite a few requests for certain videos, one of which was a room tour, which I will do at some point in the future, but currently I can't because I'm considering a complete move around in my room in order to have basically the wall that you can't see here, the entire wall as a Disney wall with lots and lots more shelves. But I will let you know what's going to happen with that once I know myself. So once that has been decided, then I can potentially do a room tour. Until then, I'm sorry but I can't. Also, a quick apology if you can hear my dogs barking at any point during this video. They are playing up quite a lot today, and I've just realised that when I turn the camera on and off it makes this high pitched beep, and they really don't like it, and that is setting them off. So if you can hear a dog, it is mine, for instance now. So as I can't do the room tour request, I have received several requests for this one. I've had quite a lot of questions regarding where I buy all of my plushes from, and I know on my previous videos I have mentioned things such as the global shipping program on eBay and Facebook selling sites, and I haven't actually provided much detail on how they work and what they are, so I am planning on covering that in this video. I'm also going to include some tips and tricks for finding reasonably priced plushies instead of paying the silly prices that some of them are going for currently. And yeah, show you how I find most of my plushes. So the main platform that I find most of my plushes on is of course eBay. I am a huge eBay user and I always have been. I've had eBay since when it was set up quite a few years ago. Obviously back then you couldn't buy from abroad as easily as you can now. If you did buy from abroad, you had the risk of incurring huge import charges. Nowadays it's a lot easier to buy from other countries, and most of my plushes actually come from America. The best way I find of finding plush on eBay is obviously type in the character name that you're looking for and the word plush. However, you can also search in for soft toys, teddies. Often some people list plushies as dolls, so you could use the word doll. Character, some of them are referred to as character toys. That will often show you things that people have listed, because not everyone lists in the same way, so that will give you a broader range of searches. I also have on my computer, I've set up, if there's something I'm looking for, I will set up eBay notifications for it, so as soon as something is listed under that specific word that I have searched, I will get a notification on my phone. I often find some people that bid on items on eBay, if they are an auction, tend to bid very, very early on in the auction. I personally don't advise this, as it turns into a bidding war very, very early on, and the price will rocket still with 5 or 6 days to go, and you'll often be priced out. What I personally prefer to do is I will watch the item, because you will get notifications once the item is about a day to go, and then about 15 minutes before the auction due to end, so you won't miss it. I tend to bid at the very, very last minute, so I'm talking under a minute to go. I have been outbid at this point. I have actually been outbid with 10 seconds or less to go, but you run a much better chance of winning the item bidding late than you do bidding early, because obviously if you're early someone will see that and they will outbid you again. I also find on eBay there's often an option for a best offer. If you see the option best offer, make sure you click the button and make an offer on the item. It means that the seller is open to offers on the item and will often take less than the item is currently listed for. there's many a times, such as in my last video, when I mentioned that on my fairies from Sleeping Beauty, I put in a silly best offer on it and it actually got accepted. So it's often worthwhile giving it a go. My dog is barking all over this video. Even if there isn't a best offer button on the listing, sometimes it is worthwhile contacting the seller via message and just asking whether they'd be open to offers. I have had offers accepted that I've just messaged the seller and they've actually changed the listing for me, so I have got it cheaper than the price listed despite not having a best offer option. I find that most of my plushies that I get relatively cheap have actually come from America. A lot of people selling in America are charging a lot less than they are in the UK. So items such as my trusty plush, my Scar and my Bruno have all come from America, and I got them a lot cheaper than I would have if they came from over here. When you search on eBay, there's a few things that you need to make sure you do in order to find all the plush that are shipped from America, and I'm going to show you on my laptop because it's a bit hard to explain. Okay, I have now picked up my camera in order to show you. I'm also going to warn you that my dogs are now in my room because they wouldn't stop being noisy, and unless I let them upstairs they will go mental. So they wouldn't normally be in my room, but for the sake of filming without the noise, I've let them up. So if a dog wanders into shot, you know why. Okay, so I've typed in Rafiki plush for an example on eBay. Bear in mind, if you type in plush, you will get a lot more searches from America, as in America they tend to refer to soft toys as plush rather than anything else. So, in order to call up everything worldwide, you need to ensure that the box down here under item location is under worldwide. So this should call up more options. So you'll see up here you're now searching worldwide. This will hopefully call up more options. I mean, I don't know if I haven't searched this recently, so I'm not sure what is on here. But you'll see, for instance, here it will say $12.35 postage. You know for a fact that that's going to come from the United States, because obviously postage from America is a lot more expensive than if you were buying from inside the UK. So I often refer to the global shipping program. Again, I've got this up as an example, which will be listed on eBay. So when you call an item up, this little box will appear, and this is the logo for the global shipping program. It will also say no additional import charges on delivery. The good thing about this program is that it's guaranteed when this item arrives, it will not be held up in customs and you will not get a letter through the door demanding import fees. The problem with import fees that get delivered through your door is that the post office will charge an additional cost on top of your import charges. So it obviously works out more expensive. And this program is great because it shows you your postage costs, which on this occasion is £17, the equivalent of £17. This really is not focusing. So it will also then state import charges, and this is what you will pay on top of your postage costs, and it will be confirmed at checkout. But because it's putting the import charges on here, you will not have to pay any additional import charges when the item is delivered. It will be delivered straight to your door. This is also great, this program, because you can actually track it from as soon as the seller posts it. It will leave all tracking details on eBay under your purchased items. So that's really good. That's really handy. This I'm trying to find. I also had an example. Okay, so if you don't buy through the global shipping program, so for instance, this Max plush is really cheap. He's £7, which is amazing. However, because it's not going through the global shipping program, they're using USPS priority mail, which is really expensive. So that is £40 delivery. So despite the plush being £7, you've got to take into account you're going to pay £40 delivery. Okay, I've put my camera back on the tripod now, and like I said, the dogs are in shot, so if they wander around and they're a bit distracting, I'm sorry. Okay, so the good thing about that global shipping program is that you know that all your She decided to sit on my lap. You know that all your import charges are covered, so you won't have any nasty surprises of it coming through the door. I've had experiences of buying plushies without going through the global shipping programme, mainly because it just wasn't an option. There was no plushies on eBay that had the option of global shipping, so I had to forego the convenience. Yeah, she's being really loud. Sorry. This isn't how I planned to do the video, to be honest. Okay, I'm really sorry if all you can hear is dog panting on the camera, because I think she's a bit stressed out about the noise of my camera when I'm pressing record and it's beeping. And she's now decided to like my laptop, so... So you can buy items that don't go through the global shipping programme. However, you have to bear in mind that because eBay hasn't already charged you the import charges, you will be charged them upon receipt of the item. What will happen is you'll get a letter through from, for instance, the post office if they're dealing with it, and it will be posted through your door prior to you receiving the item, stating how much you have to pay. The only problem with this is, I think import charges work out at 20% of the item value. However, if it goes through something like the post office first, they then charge £8 on top as their admin fees, so it soon adds up. I think the problem is any item below £20 is not subject to import fees, so it's fine. As soon as it goes above £20, you end up paying 20% import charges on top of the item, or import and customs. I had an item that I bought and it was, I think, £25, so it was only £5 above the limit, and so it's £25 and I have to pay 20% import charges on this item. So I think I was only due to pay £5 import, which is not bad at all. I wouldn't have minded paying that. But when I got my receipt through the door, the post office had charged about £8 on top. So for something that should have cost me £5 import, it actually cost me £13, which I know it doesn't sound a lot, but when you're only due to pay £5, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. So if you'd done it via the global shipping programme, you would have only been charged the £5. You wouldn't be charged the admin fee. You also would get the item straight away. It wouldn't be held up via the post office. The only difference is, I find personally, is if someone ships it without the global shipping programme through USPS or whatever delivery service they are using, it actually turns up a lot quicker than it does via the global shipping programme. However, you can't track the item like you can on the global shipping programme, so there are pros and cons of both ways. But obviously we've got a lot more choice nowadays of how to buy things from places such as America, which obviously we couldn't do before. And plushies do tend to be cheaper over there. So providing you get a good delivery rate and the import charges aren't too much, you will genuinely get your plushies cheaper ordering them from America than you will buying them in the UK. So another platform that I use to buy my items is Facebook, and I know a lot of people have asked me a lot of questions regarding my Facebook purchases. I often refer to them as Facebook selling sites. So there are quite a few groups on Facebook that are dedicated to selling Disney items only, and this is a great place to find things you're looking for. So for example, one of the Facebook selling sites, the main one that I use, is one called All Things Disney for Sale UK and Worldwide. This is open to everyone, so even if you're not in the UK, you can have access to this page and you can sell to anyone worldwide, basically. Now, I think this has got the most members, this group. So this has got 34,000 members on it, which is quite a lot, considering it is a Disney-only selling page. And these places are great if you're looking for items. So what people will do is they will put posts up. Often there's numerous posts daily of people selling items, and they range from plushies, mugs, toys, anything you could think of Disney gets sold on this site. So you can search in the bar what you're looking for in case anyone's posting things up, or just what I do is I tend to check it daily, just in case something's come up that I'm not necessarily looking for, but yep, might want it. So I'm often on these sites. I've also in the past put up wanted ads on this site, so if there's numerous, for instance, plushies that I'm looking for, I will save all the pictures of the items I'm looking for and make a photo collage of the items, and I will post that to the groups with an in search of title. And if anyone is selling any of these items, they will comment on your post saying, oh, I've got that item, and yeah, you'd find items that you wouldn't normally find just scrolling through the site. Okay, one dog has gone. So that's often a good selling platform because people charge a lot less on there than they would eBay, and there are a lot of sites. So there's that one. There is one called Disney Buy and Sell UK, which obviously is just UK people on that one, and UK Disney merchandise for sale. That is also another one. So it's definitely worthwhile if you're looking for items and you've looked on eBay and they're really expensive. It's always worth potentially looking on there or posting a wanted ad in there, because you never know, someone might be selling them. A couple of other places that I tend to use and look for Disney items are websites such as Gumtree, which often you'll find cheap items listed on there, even if they are listed as Disney toys or Disney mug. People don't exactly know what items are, and they don't know the value of certain items, so you can often get a bargain on there. Or potentially the fairly new app called Spock, which is the online they refer to it as the online car boot equivalent, so you can literally buy and sell on there. It is advertised as selling to people in your local area. However, I do find a lot of people on there are willing to post if you ask nicely, so you can get a good few deals in there. I think I got a job lot of soft toys on there. I think it was sort of 5 soft toys, and I paid something like £8 for them, and there was about 5 items in there that I wanted, so that was really good. So that's always worthwhile, and on that as well you can also put notifications on that one as well, in case so when people post under that specific search that you've put in, you will get a notification to your phone to let you know that there are new listings. Another trick, if you're looking for cheap Disney items, that people often list things on selling sites, especially eBay, as the wrong item, or they will spell things wrong. It's often worthwhile if you're searching for something to search for it as if it was spelt wrong. For instance, if you were looking for a Nala plush, some people have actually listed Nala with an R, so Narla. You'll find it under there, and obviously a lot of people won't have typed that in if they're looking for that, and sometimes you can get a bargain. Also, like I stated, sometimes just type something like Disney toys in, and that people may have listed Disney soft toys under there and not knowing them. There's a lot of people that don't know specific characters' names, so we'll list it under something like Disney toys, and you could get a bargain under that as well. So yeah, and sometimes it's actually worthwhile just typing in something like Disney store. I've found quite a few listings of items that haven't actually got a name, they're just listed under Disney store. So there are lots of different tips and tricks. Just make sure you're searching a variety of items. For instance, if you're searching for I don't know, adult Simba up there, I've actually found him listed as Disney Lion. He could simply be listed under that, and I mean, you will have to do a lot of searching, but it will be worthwhile in the end if you do manage to get an absolute bargain on a toy that you were looking for. So I'm hoping this was an informative video and helped some of you that wanted help. I'm sorry it was a bit of a rambly video and it was a lot of talking instead of showing you things, but it was requested. And if you have any other questions about buying items, feel free to message me either on YouTube or on Instagram, and I'm more than happy to help. I'm sorry if my dogs interrupted this video at all, they're just playing up like anything today, so hopefully it wasn't too distracting. And thank you all for watching if you managed to make it all the way through this rambly video, and I'll hopefully see you next time.